Hey guys, so if you're not a Zelda fan, if you don't like these kinds of videos, because it's going to be a long one, this video is about 53 minutes, and then the other one we're going to be watching is about 30 something minutes. If it's not your cup of tea, don't watch it. Don't comment saying it's, don't like these videos. Just click away, and I'll see you next time. For people, again, it's going to be a long one, but I want everyone to be up to speed because I'm probably going to be doing a lot of Zelda theories and videos because of this game. So it'll be nice for everyone to be up to speed. So when I talk about, say, the moment with Zelda, or where this takes place, or how it doesn't make sense where it takes place, everyone will be up to speed and understand the context of what I'm talking about. Um, be warned, this is by far one of the most emotional Zelda games. Apart from the ending of Twilight, not Twilight. Actually, no, Twilight Princess ending was freaking emotional. I remember tearing up really when I first played it in 2006. Minna, why did you have to go? Skyward Sword's ending was also really emotional with Fi, and this one, geez, the introduction of Rauru and Sonya. I absolutely love these characters. Minoru, lover. I love their characters. I love Raru's character. He's so cool, but he's so badass when he needs. It's just, and Sonya's just so kind and caring and like very motherly. And I think these are some of the two of the coolest characters that Nintendo's made for a Zelda game. But anyways, enough rambling on. So these right now are the memory cutscenes. These are the ones where you go around to all the geoglyphs and whatever, and you get a memory uh, left behind from someone, which you will see. Um, and then the next part will be the final part with the final battle with Ganondorf, the cutscenes with him, the ending cutscene. So again, gonna be a while. So grab yourself a drink, something to eat. You're gonna be here a while. So without further ado,
It is good to see you, Princess Zelda of Hyrule, and Link, Keeper of the Master Sword. Your blade has been fully restored. Go on then, Link. Draw it once more.
Great Deku Tree! Thank you so much.
There is no need for thanks. I merely watched over its renewal.
It is amazing that a sword can heal itself, no matter how badly damaged it becomes.
It can do more than heal. The sword will continue to gain strength if bathed in sacred power. The stronger that power, the more powerful the sword becomes. The potential of this fabled blade may well be limitless, truly the work of a goddess.
The sword that grows ever stronger. The Master Sword.
so I just want to stop there. Hearing the Deku Tree say basically this sword's power is limitless. It as long as it's being fed like divine power, it can grow as strong. It's kind of like the Goku of swords. It can just keep going and going. It has a. It's like once it reaches what you think would be its limit, no, it just shatters that and it just keeps going. It can grow as strong as it needs to be. Um, so to know that the sword can not only take in divine energy and grow stronger, but also over time essentially heal itself. So if the blade is broken, it can actually regrow like a freaking lizard, which is crazy. And a lot of it is probably due to Phi's spirit being in there. Part of it because it was created by Goddess Hylia. Um, well, it was forged. Really, we got start with the Goddess Sword, and throughout Skyward Sword, it's being forged with the flames, sacred flames, until it eventually becomes what we know as the Master Sword. Um, but it was divine power that forged it. So, but anyway,
What is that? Link!
Was that the sword that seals the darkness? The blade that shatters so easily against my power cannot save you from me. Zelda. You who carries that fragile sword. A Link. Raru placed his faith in you. And that was all you could do.
How do you know our names?
Your bug spray should take...
okay, so few things with that one, and I again I said this was going to be a long video because I am going to want to stop after each of these little segments and just say something. Okay, so first off, I think this is probably the most powerful Ganondorf we've seen. His malice alone, which they call gloom here, uh, is so powerful it's become like a solid object, strong enough to not only shatter the Master Sword, but you see how big Hyrule Castle is. It is strong enough to just lift the entirety of Hyrule Castle into the air. It's not even like a actual physical thing. It's kind of like in Dragon Ball Z or shows like that where they have like an aura. That's basically almost what it is. It's like an aura. Or actually, the most I can actually compare it to is Naruto, where when he gets his chakra armor thing going on, how it's like it's very flowing, and it can things can go through it, but it's so strong you can actually latch on, like interact with things. It can take someone, latch onto them, and swing them around. It can catch boulders. Um, so it's an aura, but it's so powerful that it can interact and become like this solid mass. And just the fact that Ganondorf's essentially aura malice is so powerful, it can not only shatter the Master Sword, but lift Hyrule Castle into the sky. That's incredible. Second, how heroic Link is. That dude must have been in pain. Not only is the Master Sword broken, but his entire arm is just destroyed. He was in sure more pain than we can imagine. And what was the first thing he did when he saw Zelda fall? He jumped. Not even not even knowing if he could save himself, not knowing if he could save her. But he just selflessly, because he's the hero, selflessly just jumps into the abyss to try to catch her. Luckily enough, she was, disappeared with the magic, and luckily enough, he was saved. But just without even thinking, he just turns around, sees her, he jumps. Uh, that's a hero. But more memory, the start of the memories, rather. But yeah, we're gonna talk about them each time. So if you don't want a super long video, this is not the place to be, because I'm gonna be talking about each memory and this and that. So you're gonna be here a while.
What? Oh, dear. Where am I?
We didn't mean to startle you. I'm sorry. It's okay. My name is Sonia.
And could we ask what your name is?
I am the daughter of King Rome of Hyrule, Zelda.
What an unexpected answer. We are the king and queen who founded Hyrule, after all. Or at least we were the last time I checked.
You two founded Hyrule? And you're the king?
My name is Rauru, King Rauru of Hyrule.
King Rauru? And Queen Sonia? But that must mean...
So you can see just how amazing those two are. I love Rauru's character. The fact that he's so formal, but he's like that one, he's very playful. Like, like, well, last time I checked, we were still king and queen. But I love the design, even though the fact that he's a giant half goat thing, it's not really known what they are. I think they all are just like animalistic. We'll see his sister, who's he looks more like a goat. She looks more cat-like or fox-like. But the Sonia, we do know that other lands do exist, so she could have easily come from another land and kind of settled in that area that would become Hyrule. But whatever the case, Zelda's transported into the past, very far into the past. She's picked up, found by Rauru and Sonya, and she kind of realizes that she's in the past and very far. And essentially, we learn that these two are kind of the rulers, not only of Hyrule, but the ones who set it up. And Zelda may very well be descended from them because obviously they, you know, so in the end, Zelda may be part Zonai, but I think, further down the line, they become less and less animalistic and become more and more humanoid or human looking. But they still do keep the ears. So I think that's another reason for Zelda's amazing powers is because she's part Zonai, so she's very gifted with magic. But
As I thought. This is not the world I know. A time so far back in the past, it's become legend. So it's true. This is really the era of Hyrule's founding?
Your presence here is just as strange to us, Zelda. But if you, like Sonya, have a secret stone and are able to manipulate time, then your story makes sense.
Oh? I believed her right away. You needed the secret stone as proof, Rauru? I can feel your light power within her, as well as my time power. Additionally, I sense that we share a blood connection.
I see. In any case, Zelda, you had said that you needed to return to your era as soon as you possibly could.
Yes. In my time, something terrible is happening. I need to get back there. But how do I do that? I don't even know how I got here in the first place.
Why try for Breeze card?
Now, Zelda dear. You don't need to solve your problems all at once. Why not come back with us to the castle, hmm?
No,
We'll tell everyone that you're a distant relative of ours. It is true, after all. We'll get you fresh clothes, too. I'm sure an answer will come to you. Wisdom takes time.
I don't know what to say.
I wonder. Minoru, she may have some idea of how to get you back to your era.
Minoru, you said?
Yes. She knows far more than anyone about our people. And like us, my older sister has a secret stone. We'll call on her.
so you can see what I'm talking about with Sonya and Rauru. It's like Zelda's kind of looking for comfort here, and he's standing there like, and Sonya's like, say something, and then she's the one who goes over to comfort Zelda. I love the interaction with them. You can tell that they're in love with each other, and they're just like every other couple. They have problems, it's like, say something. I know you're a different race, but seriously, you've been here long enough to know how we are. But you can see instantly that Sonya's just a very motherly figure. When she says, we'll just tell everyone you're a distant relative. I mean, it's true. She is distant. Several hundred thousands of years distant, it seems. And the fact that she brings up the connection, saying, well, I can sense both my time power and Raru's light power in you. There's a blood connection. So again, I think Zonai and Hylian, or just hybrids at first, start out more animalistic, and the more generations that go on, they start to lose that animalistic property, kind of like Saiyans. You know, the best is the easiest thing. They become more human, and you know that Saiyan blood is kind of like diluted, and even though they have great potential, that primal urge and stuff like that from the Saiyans kind of like dies out, not dies out, but becomes less and less. You know, you're getting children that don't have tails at all, rather than, you know. So you have like Goku, who's a pure blood Saiyan, and then you have Gohan, who's a son but mix of human and Saiyan. But Gohan had a tail, but then you have Goten, who had no tail at all. Same thing with when Gohan and Videl had a child, Pan. She didn't have a tail, so it's like each generation becomes less and less animalistic and become more and more human. Um. So, but hey, that's just a theory, a cave theory.
It is quite an interesting device. This is definitely not from this era. That said, I believe there may be a way to get the travel functionality working here. I'd like to tinker with it a bit. Would it be okay if I borrow it?
Yes, whatever you need. I really appreciate your help.
Then I'll hold on to it.
So you really believe my story? That I came from the future?
I never doubted you for a moment.
Minoru, do you know of a way we could help to return Zelda back to her time?
I suspect it was the power of your secret stone that allowed you to travel through time. To put it simply, secret stones amplify the power their owners possess. I am able to separate my spirit from my body. Rauru can repel or destroy evil with his power of light. And Sonia, she can control time. As for you, I can sense both light and time powers. But your secret stone seems to amplify your time power.
Time power.
Ultimately, the secret stone only amplifies your power. It doesn't suddenly grant you mastery and control. That's still up to you. That means, if you don't already know how to get yourself home...
Want a worry-free way?
There are stories about the secret stones and a forbidden act called draconification. To swallow a secret stone is to become an immortal dragon, one blessed with eternal life.
Interesting. Another way to reach the future, though not a very quick one. So you think these stories could hint at a solution to our dilemma?
Yes. But there is still more to those tales. To become an immortal dragon is to lose oneself. That is why it is forbidden. I thought maybe this could lead to a solution, some way to transcend time. But if you have to sacrifice your heart and mind, sacrifice what makes you you. I'm sorry. I wish I could help more.
Back where we started. There's still hope. I think the answer to this problem lies in study and learning more about the nature of your power. I'm sure Sonia would be happy to help you.
Okay.
Okay, so that draconification, they bring it up for a reason. Um, it's still, it was so random when it was brought up, And then when the moment happens, you're like, holy crap. But I love Mineru's character, Mineru, however you want to pronounce it. Mineru's character. Um, you can see she's like very cat-like or fox-like, whereas her brother's more like goatish looking. Uh, so I'm guessing each Zonai, even though if they're related, they can still look like different animals. You know, he's got the longer ears going that way, hers are up. Um, but she's very elegant looking, and I love the sash almost that that she has that like kind of like floats around her. It's just really elegant, and um, she looks very sophisticated. And she's got like what looks like almost like Pura's goggle type thing going on. Um, which I I'll talk about at the end when we finally see the final cinematic. But just Rauru always kind of like this. He's just a thinker. He's always trying to broaden his mind with things he doesn't know, and uh and he says to Zelda, it's like, well, maybe another way is to just study, look into the possibilities and see what options there are. Focus and practice your time power and master it, and Sonya can help you with that. But yeah, he's he's pretty cool character. Conquer me, daddy.
Hyrule will bow down before me.
Molduga are approaching our position.
It's more than we thought. It's a swarm.
There are so many of them. But why would they?
Introduce.
That blast wiped out all the Molduga.
How is that possible?
So brute force will not be enough. The secret stone of the Zonai. How interesting.
So, Moldugas, an army of Moldugas swarming towards them, and Rauru, living up to his name as the King of Light, just freaking TNs that crap and Tri-Beam. Zelda and Sonya transfer power to him, and he just annihilates, huge beam of light, and he just takes them all out. You can see the third eye on his forehead open up, which I also think is where the Sheikah got their third eye for the eye that sees the truth and all that. Because because you can see even on his forehead, it looks like the Sheikah eye. So, but this is a great display of Raru's power and how he lives up to his name as the King of Light. Um, such a badass character. Also, sorry about the ads that keep randomly popping up. I clicked through to try to get rid of them all. Apparently, it didn't work.
Allow me to offer you my deepest apologies. On behalf of the Gerudo, for taking so long to accept your repeated invitations. It is our desire to be accepted into the protective embrace of your kingdom, to serve it faithfully.
A welcome appeal, Ganondorf. I will accept your vow of fealty to the Kingdom of Hyrule. I understand that a single male is born to the Gerudo every 100 years. Receiving such an appeal from you, a hero to his people and a king by birth, well, it is truly reassuring.
It is my honor. When your Zonai ancestors first descended upon these lands long ago, they must have seemed to be gods. And now you rule as king, and have taken a Hyrulean woman as your wife. Your Majesty has certainly risen above your admirable lineage. Most impressive. It is unfortunate that the noble Zonai no longer grace this world with their presence. All except you and your sister, that is.
Even if something were to happen to me, both my kingdom and the peace it brings, these will endure for generations to come. Your actions today are appreciated, Ganondorf. I look forward to your future endeavors. You may leave.
Your Majesty.
King Rauru, I believe that man's heart holds many dark ambitions. Just his name, even that, it gives me pause.
I am well aware of his evil nature. For that reason, and others, I want him close. It will be easier to keep an eye on him. There is nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Your bug spray.
That, my friends, right there was dramatic irony. So basically, someone says something, and the people watching know something that, you know, something like what they said, that gives what what the person said a different and usually a darker meaning. So when he says everything will be okay, we as the player and the viewer know that everything is not going to be okay. We know something is going to happen just from him saying, "Don't worry, everything will be fine." You can tell right then and there, everything is not going to be fine. So that right there is dramatic irony. But I love how the scene is set up kind of like how we first see Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time, you know, kneeling in front of the king. How Ganondorf makes a thinly veiled threat, saying, "Oh yeah, it's a shame the Zonai are no longer around, except for you and your sister." Kind of like, you're not going to be around for long. And that's when Rauru's kind of like, "Oh, well, even if we're gone, peace will remain in Hyrule for years to come." But Rauru, being the badass he is, he's like, "Oh, I know full well that this guy's bad." But that's the issue. When he says, "I want to, you know, keep him as close as possible," that was the mistake. And then when he says everything will be okay, Dramatic irony. You know it's not going to be. You know it's not going to be okay. They think it's going to be, but you know it's not. So such a great scene. It shows Ganondorf as the manipulator that he is, as this strong, powerful figure who, I mean, he is, when he's in that room, he steals the spotlight. He takes up and commands so much respect and you know, something, because you know he's such a huge guy, and even Rauru says, you know, I understand that a male is born every 100 years, so to have a hero to the Gerudo and a king by birth, it's, you know, so, you know, just the presence of Ganondorf, you know, you could pretty much feel it in that room. With his deep voice, and Matthew Mercer, I'm so glad he got to have a chance to play Ganondorf. He's played Ganondorf once before in There Will Be Brawl ages ago, but to actually voice the Demon King, he did such a great job. I'm so happy that he got to do it. But next one.
Are you well? You seem a bit distracted.
I apologize. I keep getting lost in my thoughts, thinking about how I can return home. With your power over time, if I were able to learn that kind of control, I might be one step closer to my era.
I see. The secret is to think of it like drawing out the object's memory. You ask the object where it was, how it arrived where it is now, and then you coax it back to that original moment in time.
The object's memory.
I'm sure it will become almost like second nature, and you will be able to find your way home. But Zelda, there is more on your mind than just that.
Huh?
You, of course, do want to get back to your time. But you also desperately want to help us out in this era. Am I close to the truth?
How did you know?
I do not believe it is possible to keep anything secret from Sonia.
Oh, your concern is very sweet, Zelda. But listen, you can focus your attention on returning home. After all, you possess more than power over time. You have a sacred power that can dispel evil. Both of these powers will help you protect your own era.
Queen Sonia.
And of course, you must make it home safe to put Link's mind at ease.
Link? That is not a name I have heard.
He is a royal knight. He had been originally appointed for my protection. But later, he became a hero by saving both me and Hyrule from a great evil.
Oh, a hero is he?
He is so very dedicated, and he refuses to back down from any challenge. He is very strong. And his heart is good and true.
Ah, I can see that you have absolute faith in him. Hearing you speak so highly of Link, I find myself wanting to meet him as well.
Indeed. I would also like to meet him. He must be quite the brave, courageous knight. What a picture Zelda paints of him.
So that whole scene, so amazing. The area they're sitting, absolutely gorgeous. Sonya trying to explain the time power of kind of, you know, trying to help Zelda, you know, kind of visualize and understand how it works. The fact that she uses it for something as simple as a cup. You know, the cup's about to hit the ground. She's like, whoop, Um, and just like I said, the interaction, you can tell that Rauru and Sonya are in love. They have, you know, issues like anyone else. And that's what I think people love about characters like that. No matter how godlike they seem, you relate to them. You see them and they make you happy because of the interactions, the way they're trying to comfort Zelda. Um, Rauru with the constant, Link, that's a name I have not heard before. That sort of thing. Just that whole area is just gorgeous. Having like a little gazebo, on the water, and just it's so pretty there. But they're such cool characters, such cool characters.
All right, Zelda. We are alone as you requested. What was it you wanted to discuss with me in private?
You are far too trusting.
Oh my. I'm surprised to hear you say such a thing. That is quite out of character for the Zelda I know. But then you are a puppet of Ganondorf.
Did you really think we hadn't realized your deceit? Your Majesty! Queen Sonia! Oh no! Queen Sonia!
So you had just saw the death, an on-screen death of a Queen of Hyrule. And I remember first seeing that. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You don't get to see Sonya except for in these cutscenes, but you grow so attached to her because you can see how truly of a good person she is. And Nintendo went out of the way to make her as beautiful as possible. And how she interacts with Zelda and with her husband and how she carries herself. You really grow close to this character despite the fact that we only see her in these flashbacks. And then when this happens, you're like, are you kidding me? No. So the fact that he assassinated the Queen of Hyrule, took her stone, and then that freaking shit-eating grin he had, that is the face of, for him, pure amusement, pure pleasure, and pure evil. We've seen Ganondorf evil before, but this, we truly see how evil the Demon King really is. But we saw an on-screen death in a Zelda game of the Queen of Hyrule, which is insane. Usually the king and queen have already been dead for ages, like in Twilight Princess, but here we see it. We see the death.
Queen Sonia! Queen Sonia!
Finally, it is mine!
worry.
Sonya!
You were too late, Rauru. You took for granted the godlike power you had in your hands. Do you now see the potential you squandered? As for her, she is merely the first victim of your arrogance. You tried to control me, Rauru, and you will die knowing that you failed.
Prince Sonia needs you.
So first off, if Demise and Akuma had a baby, that's what it would look like. The scene, completely insane. How you see this normally very kind, docile Rauru, and then you see that sneer, his teeth showing, and you're like, oh my god, I'm truly terrified of this man right now, because you don't know what he's capable of. You know how powerful he is, but you never see his full power unleashed. You see him being defensive in that moment, doing that and creating a light shield. But you don't know what this man is capable of, and we wouldn't see it because Zelda's like, Sonya needs you right now, even though she's dead. But just that he did, and showing his teeth like a beast, like an animal. Just, oh my god, I was like, oh my, the first time I was like, I'm terrified of this man right now. He's so nice and loving and funny and this and that all the other times, but this time you were truly terrified of this man because you don't know what he's capable of. He's very animalistic in his appearance, and in that moment, that animalistic part of him came out. His third eye opened up. He was ready to fight. So don't mess with Rauru. Don't mess with the guy.
Eliminate this kingdom and her allies. Leave no survivors.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser.
So Ganondorf's horse, completely badass looking, able to create Stalnoxes and Hinoxes and Gibdos and Lionels just out of his malice and everything, or gloom. Being able to spawn that many powerful creatures just from his energy is insane. It shows us how powerful this Ganondorf really is, and he's not one to be messed with at this time.
King Rauru, we just received word that the last free village in the Gerudo Desert has fallen. At this rate, the Demon King's army will overwhelm us.
I understand. Our only hope is for me to defeat the Demon King.
Rauru. The Demon King. He is not someone you can stop by yourself. But you are not alone. You have the Gerudo, Goron, Zora, and Rito leaders as well as Zelda. And of course, you can count on me.
There's something I'd like to show you all.
Sacred stones.
Stand with me. I need all your aid.
We all gathered here, swear on our lives to serve Rauru, the King of Light.
So not much to really say about that. We see the ancient sages, the fact that they were comprised of different races, the fact that the Rito existed long into the past, even though in Wind Waker we know that the Zora evolved into the Rito. But apparently in recent years that's been kind of retconned, I guess, and Rito have existed for a long time. But yeah, it's cool to see the ancient sages. I love the helmets that they're wearing, the masks. But I wish we could have seen what they actually looked like. I mean, we know what the races are, and we know what those races look like, but I would have loved to see in each individual face, like the Goron, I imagine, kind of looking like, Darunia or Daruk, very, you can see he's got the long flowing white beard under. So we see them all become sages.
Sonia. Oh, Zelda.
King Rauru, before you face the Demon King tomorrow, there is something I must tell you. I came to this era after finding a man underground.
Go on.
When I witnessed what the Secret Stone did to Ganondorf, at that moment, I knew for sure what we found underground, that was him. He was still alive, still powerful. He continues to live on, all the way until my time. In tomorrow's battle, we won't be able to defeat him. No matter how strong we think we are, he'll survive. And you will.
Maybe so. But it is my duty to try. It was my hubris that set us on this path. I must atone for my error in judgment. And above all else, I remain the King of Hyrule. As with any leader, it is my duty to safeguard and protect my people, even if I must risk my life.
Rauru.
And if it proves impossible for us to defeat Ganondorf, we rely on your knight and that legendary sword he carries. Our last line of defense will be Link. But remember, that was a future where you never appeared in this world. And you are here now. Zelda, I believe there is a reason you were sent to us. It has to mean something.
The reason I am here.
Long ago.
Okay, so it just shows you how cool of a character he is. She outright says, "You're going to die." Or not die, but you're not going to be able to defeat him. And he's like, "Yeah, but I'm the king. It's my job to at least try." You know? And people are like, why can't people today be like these people? You know, this sense of pride, and when you're leading a country or a people, that, you know, you have to risk things in order to save them. I mean, Rauru could teach a lot of people what it means to be a true leader. He goes into this knowing full well what's going to possibly happen, and he doesn't care. He's lost his wife. He doesn't want anyone else to lose and die who he cares about. And as the king of Hyrule, it's his job and duty to protect the people who he's supposed to watch over. Because while he is king, he is very godlike to them. So he is very much their protector. So he's got to do what he needs to do as king, as their protector, to at least go into battle with Ganondorf and try to stop him. And that's why he elicited the help of the other sages, because it gave them a better chance of winning. So Rauru just proves time and time again he is such a good character. He's so kind. He can be terrifying when he gets angry. He's a good ruler. He, you know, truly cares about his people, and I think a lot of people in power can learn a lot from that kind of character. But that's not going to happen.
My people, known as the Zonai, came down from the heavens to the surface of the world. It was said they were descendants of gods. They bore treasures from these same gods, secret stones capable of amplifying the abilities of those who possessed them. Using the knowledge of the Zonai, my younger brother Rauru became a great leader. He met a young woman named Sonia, and they would wed. Rauru gifted Sonia one of the secret stones. Together, they sought to establish their kingdom. This is how the Kingdom of Hyrule, with Rauru and Sonia as its first king and queen, came to be. The future looked bright. However, tragedy suddenly struck. A man of great evil emerged from the desert. The leader of the Gerudo, Ganondorf, killed Queen Sonia and stole her secret stone. Using the secret stone, Ganondorf transformed into the Demon King.
Your bug spray.
He then created swarms of monsters and attacked. Hyrule rose up to face these threats, but the evil power driving the monsters forward was staggering. The defenders were on the brink of defeat. Rauru then came up with a plan to turn the tide of the war. He entrusted secret stones to warriors with exceptional abilities. They became sages and united in an effort to finally defeat the Demon King. Rauru and the sages outnumbered the Demon King and should have been able to stop him. However, the Demon King's power had grown far beyond anything we could have imagined. I was unable to withstand his strength. Our fight appeared all but lost. And then, Rauru. He committed himself to one final act.
That pride will be your downfall, Ganondorf! To solve your problems. But are you ready to pay the price for this?
Don't be so smug. I know exactly what it will cost me.
Thousands of years will pass in the blink of an eye. You only delay the inevitable.
You're wrong. Years from now, someone will appear with the sword that seals the darkness. A swordsman with the power to defeat you. Link. Remember this name.
Link. Interesting. I look forward to meeting you.
one of the coolest cutscenes. Such a powerful image at the end. Um, the fact that when they say Link, the theme starts to, the Zelda theme starts to play. It's like freaking perfection. Um, it's so good, and you see how powerful Rauru is. He just jams his hand into to Ganondorf, and you can see Ganondorf's kind of evil aura, and he said he binds his heart and steals his magic, and essentially what Rauru's doing is becoming a filter. He's taking all of that magic out of Ganondorf and kind of purifying it. But yet, even then, however many years this is, you can see how strong and powerful Ganondorf's magic still is, even after being, his having it sealed and having his magic stolen for tens of thousands of years. So I think this is why I said this is probably the most powerful version of Ganondorf we've seen, because even after having his magic snatched and his everything purified for tens of thousands of years, he's still extremely powerful, even though he's a little dehydrated. But just, when he says Link, the whole Rasengan looking crap and is just so good. But that the music is always on point. It's just so good. It is so freaking good.
He managed to restrain him somehow. But Link, I am not sure you'll be able to stop him. Master Sword. How is the Master Sword? You're telling me that Link is safe? You traveled through time to find me and recover your strength.
Zelda, I believe there is a reason you were sent to us. It has to mean something.
I know why I am here. It's something only I can do. We will finally stop him.
To become an immortal dragon is to lose oneself.
I'll be forever changed. Link! You must find me.
I just realized that I had my microphone off. Like, oh, your mic. Yeah, so yeah, bye. This cutscene shows you that she's still in the sword. Even however long this takes place in the future, she's still there. People have been wondering, is she there? And we thought that maybe after the Master Sword was destroyed like this, that Fi would be gone. She's still very much there. And she's been such a beloved character since she was introduced because, she may have been a short-term partner, but you grow so attached to her over. It's like Navi at the end. As annoying as she is, you do grow attached to her. Or Midna. Fi's departure and Midna's, they tear people up. They are just so emotional. But this cutscene telling you, and I think it was even before this, there was another one, pretty much showing Fi is still there. And people were just so overjoyed to see that she still does exist. And that Nintendo hasn't forgotten about Fi. But Zelda tells the plan of, what she has to do. She flashes back to that conversation about the draconification. So you have a hint of what's about to happen, but then when it actually does happen, you're like, oh my god. So
You're saying that sword traveled through time the same way you did?
Yes, but more importantly, in my original time, the Demon King was vulnerable to even the smallest piece of this sword.
Even someone like him has vulnerabilities. Then, what exactly are you suggesting we do with the sword?
Over time, the Master Sword is able to absorb sacred power. It can heal itself, and even grow stronger.
Curious. If we were able to empower it in that way, it could be the key to defeating the Demon King. But it could take centuries for that sword to grow strong enough. The power the Demon King wields. I do not see how this can be done. It would be impossible for you to provide it with sacred power for so long.
I can think of one way.
You mean?
Yes, I can do it. I have to.
I've told you. That act is forbidden for a very good reason. It would mean throwing yourself away.
Oh, Minoru!
You won't be able to change back.
The moment I had the sword, I knew what to do. I knew this was why I came to this era. I want to restore the Master Sword and deliver it to Link.
I understand. You really have made up your mind? Very well then. As a Zonai, I bear my share of blame for these events. So I too will devote myself to this goal and to this hero of yours. For the swordsman Link, I will do everything I can. Even if my body should perish, I will still be with you in spirit.
So Zelda brings up, hey, I know what I have to do. I'm going to go through with it. And Mineru's like, why? I've told you what can happen. And she gets so worked up that she kind of, from her injury, she kind of puts too much strain on herself. And she pretty much says that, well, if your mind's made up, because she told us she can separate her spirit from her body. So even if her body dies, her spirit can remain. And we can kind of we see through in the game what she did with her spirit. It's actually really cool. And when you're doing the temple, the dungeon, she kind of helps you. So having the ability to separate your spirit from your body, for her case, Raru's not around anymore. Sonya's not around anymore. She's really the only last one who can actually provide help. So she's going to separate herself from her body and, help Link in the future. So these Zonai, these Zonai are amazing.
Was that the sword that seals the darkness? A blade that shatters so easily against my power cannot save you from me.
The sword will continue to gain strength if bathed in sacred power. The stronger that power, the more powerful the sword becomes.
After all, you possess more than power over time. You have a sacred power that can dispel evil.
To swallow a secret stone is to become an immortal dragon, one blessed with eternal life.
Minoru, I'm counting on you. Link, I will restore the Master Sword for you. I will care for it until the time comes. I will pour my sacred power into it. It will be the weapon that defeats the Demon King.
To become an immortal dragon is to lose oneself.
Wanna worry?
You must.
Before we move on, are you guys ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. You know it's coming. You know it's going to happen. But when it happens, you're still completely amazed. You're astounded that they would do this. And this shows that this Zelda has made bigger sacrifices than all the other Zeldas. This Zelda is by far one of the best Zeldas, if not the best Zelda. That and Skyward Sword Zelda. And then Twilight Princess Zelda. But I don't think you're ready for this epicness right here, but try to contain yourself. So, told you weren't ready. She becomes a dragon, and then um, you kind of get to see the title of the game, Tears of the Kingdom, because those were actual tears, and they're scattered all around. They're tears of the kingdom. So, but the fact that she becomes a dragon, and also kind of makes you wonder about the other dragons, and just how pretty she looks. Like she's a dragon, but they make her look very much so like Zelda, with the blonde hair, and it's just such a beautiful dragon. They did a really good, the concept of Zelda becoming a dragon, but still having her look like Zelda. They did a really good job with the transferring her appearance to a dragon. It's just, but imagine giving up who you are. But this is why she's probably the best Zelda. She's older than all the other Zeldas. She's sacrificed so much more than the other Zeldas. This is why she's the best. Oh, this is why people love this version of Zelda so much. She's so much more active. She's more badass. She clearly has no problem doing what needs to be done, knowing that full well that she may not come back. Just like Link in the beginning, jumps into that chasm trying to save her, knowing full well he might die too. So these incarnations of Link and Zelda are by far some of the best. But now we're gonna switch over to the ending with the Ganondorf stuff, and then the ending of the game and stuff like that. So hang on. All right, so we're with Daddy Dwarf now, underneath Hyrule Castle. And this is 30 something minutes long. I think they show like the actual gameplay, so we're just gonna skip that. But we'll just watch the cutscenes. Same thing at the very end when they show the credits. We're not gonna watch the credits. Does it show credits? Nope, doesn't seem to. So that's good. We don't have to skip those because they don't show them. But without further ado, let's let Daddy Dwarf take control here.
How disappointing. This world should be shrouded in darkness, not bathed in insufferable light. All these weak, peace-loving cowards running rampant. It would have been more satisfying to overcome a worthy foe.
Regardless, I will reshape this world as it was meant to be. I will crush any opposition. I will rule. That is what a king must do. Do not look away. You witness a king's revival. And the birth of his new world.
Conquer me, daddy. No, so, God, he's so cool. He is so freaking cool. Um, the Menace Unleashed, the Demon King Ganondorf. I love that name, the Menace Unleashed. Um, it's so good. Just Matthew Mercer, the voice, doing his voice, his design, this like huge presence that he has. Like I said, he's a big guy. I think Ganondorf is like what, 7 feet tall, seven something. He's a big guy. So he's gonna obviously have a presence about him when he's physically in the room, but then knowing who he is gives off even more presence to him. And that the evil he gives off, it probably makes the air in the room so thick that you can cut it. It's it's just insane how powerful this guy is. I'd
almost forgotten the thrill of battle. That feeling as blood surges in my veins. And I am not even nearing the limits of my power. Enjoy these fun moments. You'll be taking far more than you're on this time.
And in some kind of cruel joke, you think it's just gonna be a normal health bar, but no, it keeps going. It keeps going. Master of the Secret Stone, Demon King Ganondorf. Basically he just pulls the whole "this isn't even my final form" kind of bull crap. But I love how big he is. I mean, look at him compared to Link. How big he is, how menacing he is, how it looks like it's molten throughout, even though it's like malice or gloom. And then just add insult to injury. It just goes and keeps going with his health bar. It's not like a standard health bar like it was the first time. No, it keeps going. So you better have your, as you can see, this person, their attack buff up, and have some of the strongest weapons you need, because you're gonna need it.
Stand in my way.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. You've seen it once already. Are you ready for it a second time? How badass this is going to be? I don't think you're ready for it, but we're going to go ahead and play it. Try to contain your excitement.
Everything. Sacrifice it all to destroy you. And cast this world into eternal
also look very familiar. That's not what it is, but looks very familiar. The red, the malice look, the big glowing eyes. Looks very, very familiar, doesn't it? And they did that on purpose. So first off, notice the size difference of these two. But like the protector she is, like the leader she is, even though she's in a dragon form and she has no idea who she is, at a pure instinct, she arrives to save our asses. As if, you know, even in this dragon form, there's still a connection between her and Link that even if she doesn't know why, she's drawn to him or drawn to this very moment out of some sort of duty to protect. And that's just, because we know she doesn't know who she is at this point. She's lost everything she is. She doesn't know who she is. She has no memories of what she was. But yet, in this moment, a critical moment, she arrives as if she's been waiting for this moment for tens of thousands of years. And just, it's so amazing. Again, the model for the dragon for Zelda, absolutely gorgeous. It looks like Zelda in a dragon form. And Ganondorf, just how menacing he is. He's huge with this. It's almost, his face almost reminds me of Majora with all the spikes and going out. But he is, when you think of an eternal dragon, that is what you would think of, something huge and menacing and vicious looking. Although Zelda, very elegant, very divine looking, so also like eternal dragon-esque. But just the size comparison between these two. Well, Zelda, we have to move somewhere else. We just nuked half of Hyrule. We're not going to be welcome back anytime soon. Let's just go live in the sky. So, the music. The music in that scene. The fact that even now Sonya and Rauru are still safeguarding Hyrule and watching over it, coming to your aid when you need them. I mean, they kind of have no choice. He does kind of have Rauru's arm, but if you listen to the theme that's playing after Zelda comes back, it's Zelda's lullaby, but it's almost like a clock or pendulum in the back. You hear this song and you hear it like it's swinging back and forth, and time. It's just, if you listen to it, you'll hear that almost like a grandfather clock or a pendulum or something swinging back and forth. You'll hear the do do do, and then the ch, and then it sounds like it's swinging back, and the ch. It's just so good. It is so, everything is so good. redemption. Very opposite of what you saw in the very beginning, where he jumped to save Zelda and he missed. He couldn't save her. Good thing he's a cartoon character, otherwise that would have killed both of them.
Link, how are you? I was... We reached you, after all. He's gone. The Demon King. I'm not in a dream, right? You did it. Oh, Link, you really did it. But how am I... No, I understand. I had been sleeping all this time. When I felt something, like a warm, loving embrace, I woke up. Thank you. Link, I met such wonderful people. I saw Hyrule as it was. I have so much to tell you. So much happened. Oh, Link, I'm home.
So, the amount of renditions of Zelda's Lullaby that play during this ending, you know, we hear it during the transformation, we hear it right then and there, like as she's falling, we hear it there when they're, you know, standing, you know, on the ground, and then we hear it finally again in this last scene. But the amount of renditions, and it sounds like different each and every time, the amount of the time they've taken to create so many different versions of Zelda's Lullaby, it's incredible. It is such a good song. Apart from the Zelda theme, probably one of the most recognizable songs in Zelda. And they managed to add so many versions of it into the ending, and it's insane. But we have one final cutscene, so enjoy.
can't believe such an impressive landmass can float in the sky. Just when I thought I'd started to figure the Zonai out.
Everyone, I am glad I was able to bring you all here. I wanted to share this view of Hyrule with all of you.
Whoa! I've never been this far up before, Goro.
Wow, what a sight it is. And Zelda, you were roaming the skies all along?
Yes, although I don't really remember. I never thought I would actually stand here again.
This is only a theory,
A game theory.
but Raru's power of light and Sonia's time power. For Zelda to transform back, they both must have channeled their abilities through you, Link.
I see.
Now it seems it is my time.
Minoru!
Do not worry. You have overcome the burden my era left to you. You have proven yourself, and you no longer need me. I know I can move on, join Raru and the others, and the world will be safe.
Those of us gathered here swear on our lives to support Princess Zelda and... Oh. To support Princess Zelda and safeguard the land of Hyrule.
Raru and Sonia will be happy to hear of this.
But Minoru...
And I'll let them know just how much you care. Thank you all.
King Raru, Queen Sonia, Minoru. The ancient sages. They wished not only to save Hyrule from the Demon King, but for it to see eternal peace. I will dedicate myself to that goal. Now, and for all time. My friends, with all of your strength, stand with me.
That's the end. So I'm actually disappointed they didn't make Pura kind of the sage, you know, because she was like the sage of spirit. Um, or uh, Mineru was sage of like spirit. So, you know, as a Sheikah, I would have figured, you know, Pura could have taken that place and she was kind of there. And Mineru could have passed on her stone to Pura, who was there. But she was there for scientific purposes, you know, wanted to see, you know, these things floating in the sky and possibly how they got there. So research purposes. She probably didn't care about being a sage. But again, you heard another rendition of Zelda's Lullaby. You heard the Zelda theme. You get this great shot of Hyrule. May not be all of it, but you get to see the scope and the mass of just how big this land is. You know, given the you know, Sky Islands, the land below. You know, you got the Temple of Time right there. It's just an amazing ending. Um, it's so good. I can't tell you how many times have I said that during the course of this 2 hours that it's just so good. You know, does the game have its flaws? If you play it, does it have flaws? Yeah. But these cutscenes, the music, it's so good. You know, and this is definitely one of the best Zelda games, Goro. The throwback to the ancient sages where they all the whole thing that they did with the we all gathered here, swear to protect, you know, all that. And, you know, and then they kind of show the flashback of when she was standing there when they were doing it. You know, Link just kind of like uh it's such a good game. And so now that we've seen it, you kind of have context. So when I start talking about these cutscenes and stuff like you kind of know what I'm talking about. Um, because it's it's pretty confusing time. Not actually, I think people have said that this takes place after Skyward Sword during the prosperous era, the founding of Hyrule. But that kind of, if it's from here to you know, Breath of the Wild is 10,000 years, then the establishing of Hyrule wasn't nearly as long. I mean, 10,000 years for a kingdom, even that's pretty long. I mean, think about kingdoms in real life on planet Earth. I don't think any of them have lasted 10,000 years. Maybe a couple thousand, but 10,000, 20,000, they didn't last that long. So the Kingdom of Hyrule is doing really good for itself if it's only been like 10, 20, 30,000 years. Uh, Considering how old the planet is. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to watch all these so that way you guys kind of have a concept of what the game was. Now there's more cutscenes, you know, like you know, the dungeon stuff with Tulin, Riju, and all of them going, you know, before you go into the dungeons and afterwards and stuff like that. Um, but these were the memory ones are the bulk of the lore that we're getting. So hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, the music, the imagery, so good. It is so good. I mean, from Nintendo, Zelda, what do you expect? Um, but at least it answers that Fi is indeed still alive. Because we pretty much see her in the game, not physically, but they do the sound effect that she had. They do the glowy effect that, what happened with when she would talk to you. So they're saying, yeah, Phi's still there, which gives a huge connection to Skyward Sword. So, but anyways, let me know what you thought of the game if you played it. Did you get emotional the first time? But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.